Hey, I'm Adam.
I'm Bryan.
Back with another episode of Buds and Suds.
All right, we got another blind beer test for Adam this time. He got to give me a blind one, and I really thought he was giving me Old English 800, but I didn't really know what to say. Anyway, so we'll see what he says about this one. He has no idea what it is, except he can tell the color, and so he has a pretty good guess as to what style, but let's just see what he says.
Yeah, sure. So it pours, or it appears pretty dark. I mean, very dark brown to black, tan khaki head that's dissipated. Holds the glass pretty well. Nice alcohol legs there. Mm-hmm. All right, get the aroma. Oh wow, man, dude, I'm getting a lot of pepper on that, like jalapeno pepper. Well, some sort of, I guess it's not really, it's some sort of pepper that just jumps out at me like the first thing.
Okay.
I'm having a hard time picking up much else. I mean, I'm guessing it's a stout, so, but I don't get much roastiness to it. If it's barrel aged, I'm not getting any of the vanilla, any bourbon character, or any other alcohol character. But it smells good and peppery. Cheers.
We'll see what it tastes like.
Cheers.
Cheers.
Yeah, taste follows suit. Nice pepper, and then it kind of goes into a nice roasty malt flavor. More kind of like a balanced finish. It's not sweet, but it's not bitter.
Okay.
Mouth feels a little thin for a for a stout. And the more, the second sip, getting more of the roasty character, maybe a little more bitterness then on that one.
Okay.
Pepper's kind of, I guess I'm getting acclimated to it.
So up front, you said you got peppery, and at least as far as the flavor, you got peppery first, and then you got the roasted malt.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then I'm getting that roastiness kind of sitting there as it's sitting on my tongue. A little more bitter, not like a big Russian Imperial Stout bitter, not off-putting. It's a nice flavor, not sweet. I don't get a little more booze there. I don't necessarily think this is barrel aged. I mean, I'm not ruling that out, but
okay.
It doesn't jump out at me.
So you don't get bourbon, you don't get rum. Okay.
I mean, if it was, I would say a rum. I don't get bourbon, but
I'm not trying to lead you back.
Oh, okay.
I'm just asking to.
Yeah. No. So, yeah, those are the two things. And typically that pepper. Sometimes they have cocoa. This it may have a little cocoa in, but I mean, I don't get much chocolate really. Just more of like a roasty malt.
So, as far as style, what would you say?
I would say it's an Imperial Stout with adjuncts.
Okay. What kind of adjuncts?
I mean, at least peppers, if not pepper and cocoa nibs.
Okay. Get anything else?
Sometimes they put vanilla in these too. And there may be a hint of vanilla in there as well. Yeah, this is pretty good. As far as I'm thinking of of course it's going around, what is this? It feels very familiar. But I've had a lot of peppery stouts.
Well, I can promise it's not Bourbon County.
Yeah.
Oh, I wouldn't waste a Bourbon County on a blind taste test.
So it's Abyss?
Huh?
Abyss?
No, it's not Abyss.
Was it the Abyss? That's a joke. A bar had the two mixed up. We were tasting. I'm like, this Bourbon County is not as good as I remember, but this Abyss is phenomenal. Anyway, so inside.
Which we got, by the way.
Yeah.
We picked it out. We figured it out.
Anyway, so back to the beer. I would knock it. The mouthfeel is really, it's pretty thin. Like it kind of is taken down for me. Temperature's pretty good. I mean, it's a little cooler than cellar temperature, but pretty good. I mean, it's got to be a big ABV. I'm going to guess around 10 or 11 is what I would guess with that booziness. As far as a rating, probably like a 4.25 for me. I think it would up it with a better mouthfeel and maybe some sweetness to it. I don't know. I mean, I know the roasty malts it's got to be there, but it's just a personal thing. It's on the 4.25 plus side for me. Like it's. I don't think this would dip below that, but I could see me on a given day maybe give it to 4.5. I'm gonna get a 4.25. I'm thinking, could there be coffee in this too? Let me see.
What do you get on the nose now? Now that, because your body tends to acclimate to certain smells and certain flavors, but now that you've been drinking it and smelling it, what do you think? I mean, I have to admit, I'm getting more roasted malt now than anything else.
I do. I think the pepper has subsided. It doesn't surprise me.
Okay, I'm just looking to see what the rating is because I didn't look it up ahead of time. Okay.
Yeah. But I don't get anything. Like I said, I don't think it's coffee in it. I think there's definitely peppers, maybe cocoa, maybe vanilla, but I'm not guaranteeing that.
So I'm going to lead you a little bit now. So what type of adjuncts make it a little thinner and also add a peppery nose to it, peppery flavor?
So yeah, I forgot like espresso flavors in the coffee.
Okay.
Which would be amazing because if I thought it was that extreme, to give it that, it would be a really nice espresso type, that peppery type coffee. But I would expect it to be aged at that point a little bit because it's kind of faded off, and so it might not be like this year's vintage.
Okay.
Coffee Oatmeal Imperial Stout Wake and Bake. So no pepper, just coffee.
Nothing but coffee.
So 9.4 2015 vintage.
I guess I should have looked up when they released their 2015. So this is 9.4, 50 IBUs. So the bitterness you were getting was from the coffee. It says coffee beans from all over the world in conjunction with Jittery Joe's coffee.
Well, I like that kind of coffee then.
I think it's pretty good. I mean, I'm giving it a 4 also. I couldn't go up to a 4.25, I don't think, but
you said 4.25.
I'm giving it a 4.
Okay.
I like it. I think it's good. I agree with you. It's a little thin, but you get that sometimes from coffee. And whether the coffee has faded off because it's 2015, I have no clue. I don't think they have a bottle date on it. I don't see one. Anyway, this was the only thing that was offered at the store I bought it from, so I assumed it was the newest one you could get. So hopefully it's late 2015 because it wasn't intentionally aged. But I mean, you nailed it. You called the peppery aroma right off the bat. I guess you just weren't thinking it could also be espresso.
Yeah, that was
because some coffee
my fatal
stouts.
flaw for this one.
Well, some coffee stouts they don't have that. If it's not espresso, you just don't get that peppery. And this one, I admit, it was peppery up front, big pepper up front. But once you got acclimated to that, you could kind of get the roasty malt in the back end.
Which is the combination of those two coffee.
But still, I thought it was a fun test. And this is one that's apparently much easier to get. Kind of the reason I did it is, well, I wanted to try it, number one, but number two, because there's other wake and bake variants which I can't get, and
so this is the original?
This is just regular wake and bake.
Oh, okay. Cool. 9.4%, so I was a little overestimated the alcohol content.
That's okay. It's still close. I mean, it's not like you called it a 15 and it was an 8. I mean, we're talking 9.4 to, you said, I think 10 to 11 maybe, something like that. That's pretty close.
But really good beer. Thanks for bringing it.
Yeah, I think it's pretty good for a widely distributed coffee stout.
Yeah. Coffee oatmeal stout.
Coffee oatmeal. Now, the oatmeal I would think would add a little bit more mouthfeel to it, but it really didn't, though, did it?
I don't think so.
Not thin enough to be a porter, but I mean, it's the typical coffee stout thickness, I think. All All right. Well, thanks for
Really good.
for doing it.
Yep. Thanks for making me look like a fool.
You didn't look like a fool. You described it perfectly. What do you mean?
No. I didn't
Well, you did say, well,
I should have
it's
said
not
I don't get any
coffee.
coffee. I specifically said it's not coffee. You give me a coffee stout. I specifically said this isn't a coffee stout. But that's okay. Yeah, that's what this is for. It's all good.
But you described everything right. I mean, you mentioned the bitterness. You
Yeah.
mentioned the peppery aroma. You just weren't thinking espresso, but I mean, you still described it.
Yeah.
So don't worry about it. It's fine.
It was all in good fun. So
Yeah.
I'm sure we'll give each other much harder tests.
Yeah.
Anything else?
Next time, no.
As always, if you can't have the beer you love the beer you have. Thanks.